Hello my friends and welcome back to Italy, a place to love YouTube channel. Okay, so today on the base of one of the comments under one of my videos that I actually found quite interesting, this comment, so I decided to make this video talking about the top 10 cities where actually I would relocate myself or where I would buy a property according to Italy, a place to love. Okay, according to me. So, and basically, I selected an amount of cities simply because anyway I think these cities are interesting for certain kind of reasons. I also wrote the reason why, and so but let's start from the comment wrote by one of my subscribers. Then if you like this type of videos, please, it takes 2 seconds, put like and subscribe to support Italy a Place to Love YouTube channel. Okay, so let's start from the comment written by Be Bella. So Be Bella, if you're gonna watch the video, thanks for subscribing and thanks for following my videos. Now, thank you for your video. I'm interested in knowing the city you think are the best to buy a property. And then she continues, there are videos on YouTube, actually plenty, mostly by foreigners, so hardly to find videos made by Italian. And I understand this because anyway, many foreigners are running channels here in Italy, talking about their life and so on. Then suggesting towns of Borgos, let me say small towns or abandoned village, for example, that look dead with very little people, which for many is not an attractive place to live. And I totally agree with her. So now, because you might have someone who might choose to live in a kind of very small town. But I believe that many other foreigners, for example, or expats, they would be interested to live in a city. Okay, so let's start. I selected 10 cities, okay, and I started from the regions that I love most. So from the region where I think is more convenient and is more interesting to relocate, okay? So now I'm gonna start from the southern region and then I will go up to the north. Okay, so mainly, as you know, I love the south of Italy and so on. So mainly this region are all from the south of Italy. Then I had to take some notes apart simply because I had to check how many inhabitants were living in these cities, simply because I don't know by heart and I didn't want to make any mistakes, while because anyway in my videos sometimes I make some mistakes. I think this is human. Anyway, it's a human thing, it's a humane thing. Okay, let's start from Apulia region. Let's start from Puglia. Okay, so number 10, now you can see it reverse. Anyway, I decided to start from 10 because it's the southern, and then I will go up to the first that is in the northern part. So the city that I will pick up first is Lecce. So Lecce is in Apulia region. It is in this area called Salento. Okay, so very touristic area, as you know. And now Lecce has 94,000 inhabitants. So it's a tiny bit less than 100,000 inhabitants, but let me say that it's already a quite big town, big city, let me say, according to the Italian standards. Let me say, we can call already a city something above 30,000 inhabitants in Italy. Obviously, then in other places with more inhabitants, maybe they will decide to go from a higher population, but let me say, so Lecce is this town. Now Lecce is full of history, Lecce is close to the sea, Lecce is a very touristic place, Lecce is not far from Brindisi and Bari airport, and then has all the things that you are looking in a city. for example. So obviously this video is for someone who would like to invest, to buy for themselves in a city. So let me say, I would have started, I'm starting from Lecce. Then the number 9. Number 9, I'm already dividing, for example, in 2 cities, okay? And because it's an area, always in a Puglia region, and this area is called Valle d'Itria, okay? Then anyway, maybe I will write down in the comment section that I'm talking about Valle d'Itria. Valle d'Itria for many reasons. And now let me tell you which one are the 2 towns, the 2 cities, small cities, that I decided in this area. So one, always in Apulia region. One is Brindisi, okay. So no, for example, let me go back 1 second to Lecce. Lecce is also a province, and so as Lecce, also Brindisi is a province. So Brindisi will find it in this area of Apulia that is called Valle d'Itria. Valle d'Itria is again similar to Salento, for example. And then there is Ostuni. Now, let me spend few words about these two towns, little cities. So first of all, Brindisi has 81,000 inhabitants. So it's not a very small town. Again, you can find all is necessary, that all the amenities that you might be looking, for example, if you want to live in a city. So it's not an abandoned place. Anyway, it's also a province itself, because there is Brindisi province. And so, as I say, there are 82,000 inhabitants, so it's a tiny bit smaller than Lecce. But again, Brindisi is convenient, for example, because there is an airport, and that might help you. You know, you don't really have to commute. Once you arrive to the airport, then in a very short distance you might be already at home, for example. Again, it's a very touristic area. In the last few years, a lot of expats decided to relocate in this area of Apulia region, in Valle d'Itria, and so on. And then I decided also to call for Ostuni. Now, Ostuni is a tiny bit smaller. It's 30,000 inhabitants. But again, it's a town with 30,000 inhabitants. You already have everything, let me say, all you need. Then, for example, Ostuni, there's a lot of tourism. In all the season, you have winter tourism, summer tourism. So it's a very active town. There's a beautiful life, nightlife. So if you're looking for entertainment, it's a kind of place that can give you this type of activities to do. Sorry, my video started. Because anyway, this comment was under one of my videos. Okay, and then again in Apulia region, number 8, I would put a town. Let's call it, no, it's already, let me say, let's call all of them cities or town. Again, it doesn't make big difference once we are talking about a good amount of inhabitants. Anyway, let's talk about Trani. I love Trani. Trani, I'm glad that it's not far from where I am, so it's 1 hour driving, for example, from Montemilone, and for me it's a gem. For me, Trani is simply a gem, is a pearl, is a beautiful city where to live. We are talking about 54,000 inhabitants, so it's a bit bigger than Ostuni, 20,000 inhabitants bigger than Ostuni. It's a town that is on the sea. Also is is attracting a lot of life in Apulia region is going to Trani, because anyway Trani is considered one of the most a very particular center in Apulia region, a very particular place with a lot of attraction and a lot of activities, so people never get bored in Trani. Trani, let me call it, because sometimes even when I'm speaking English, I tend to say with a bit of English accent, Trani. No, it's Trani in Italian. So anyway, Trani is also a province. Now here, because in Italy now there is this new thing that to put in a province different towns altogether, different cities. I think there is this province called BAT, Barletta, Andria, Trani, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, but I think are these three towns, cities, and so on. So for now, Apulia region is over. In Apulia, I would go for Lecce, Brindisi, Ostuni, and Trani. Now, let's move to Basilicata. Now, about Basilicata, I pick up only one city. Let me say, because in Basilicata there are only two cities. One is Potenza, that is the capital of the region, and then there is Matera. Matera is also a province. Now, I think Matera is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. All the town itself is a UNESCO place. Anyway, it's considered like most of the town itself is considered like a place to preserve, such is beautiful. I would all of you recommend to investigate a bit about Matera, because it's simply a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful town. The inhabitants of Matera are 59,000, so we are talking about a town that is not really small, a city that is not, anyway, it's good amount of inhabitants, over 30,000 inhabitants. Let me say, you might find all is necessary. Then Matera has the good thing that it's very close to Puglia, it's very close to the sea, it's not far from the sea, it's well commuted, for example, with Bari. From Bari in Apulia region there are daily transports to Matera, mainly for the tourists. There is a touristic season that is lasting 365 days a year. So you can visit Matera anytime, in any season. There is a particular beauty and attraction of this city. Okay, so then let's move number 6 to another region that I pick up, and this is the only city that I pick up in Campania region. Now, Campania region is the region where Napoli is the capital. Okay, but I didn't choose for Napoli because Napoli is a beautiful city. It's one of my favorite cities in Italy, if not my favorite. But too big, maybe it might be difficult to live in Napoli. It's Napoli itself. So I pick up a town called Benevento. Benevento means good wind. Anyway, it's a town full of history, okay? It's in Campania region. It's maybe 30 minutes, maximum 40 minutes driving from Napoli. So Napoli is a big airport. So you might have flights from all the destinations to Napoli, and then you can commute easily to Benevento. Benevento, anyway, because it's not far from Napoli, means it's not far from all the beauties of Campania region, like Costa Amalfitana, Amalfi Coast, or Cilento. Anyway, there are so many beautiful things to see in Campania region that, for example, if you want to relocate in a beautiful town, because Benevento is very well kept anyway, we are talking about 55,000 inhabitants, and that's a perfect city for me where to live. No chaos, but you find quality, all the things that you might be looking in a city, in a town. Okay, now let's move to Molise. Also in Molise I pick up only one town, okay, city, let me say. And this city that I pick up in Molise region is Termoli. Now, I pick up Termoli because, anyway, we are talking about 31,000 inhabitants. so it's not very small, it's not small anyway. From in Termoli you can find again all you need, but mainly because Termoli is on the sea. And so you're already on the coast of Molise region, very close also to Puglia region and very close to Abruzzo region. Then you might commute to Termoli quite easily. Okay, maybe the nearest airport is Pescara airport or Bari airport, but anyway, transportations are not bad to commute to Termoli. Even by train, for example, from Bari to Termoli, you can easily commute. Okay, so I'm not gonna spend any more too much words. I'm just pointing. Oh, yeah, Termoli. This is about Molise. Now let's move to Abruzzo region. Abruzzo region, and I pick up two towns, two cities in Abruzzo. So one is Pescara. Now Pescara is a quite big center. It's not a province itself, but is 118,000, so it's more than 100,000 inhabitants. And then I pick up for Chieti. Now Pescara, the very good thing of Pescara is that you have a city, lovely city. We are talking about because they're not very big. You can have access probably to most of the things even by walk. Anyway, you are on the sea and you can commute easily to other destinations. So you have all the beauties of Abruzzo just on the doorstep, and easily you can enjoy your life anyway with the sea and so on. Then we have Chieti. Chieti is another city in Abruzzo region. Chieti is a province, okay. It's 48,000 inhabitants. 48,000 inhabitants. Now Chieti is not far from Pescara. So if you're choosing for Pescara and if you're choosing for Chieti, I think there are 20, 30 kilometers, no more. So Chieti can be good. Let me say, you are not living on the sea, but you are still very close to the sea, and also is commuted quite well by transportation. So I'd say these two cities in Abruzzo region. I won't go for L'Aquila, is also a beautiful city, but we are talking about the mountains. Anyway, there are a few little things that they don't make me very crazy about L'Aquila, but Pescara and Chieti, I would go for it. High quality of the life is kind of slow, you don't have the stress of the city. You are living in a city, but in all these cities that I mentioned up to now, you are living in a city, but you are not living the stress of the city. And this for me is one of the most important things when we are talking about cities. I won't go for million inhabitant cities like Milan, Turin, Rome, Naples. No, to be honest, stay in quality life. So pick up a city that has all the services that you need, but not very big, because believe me, the stress of the city for me, it's not the best to live, in particular nowadays. And then, so the last region that I picked is Marche region. Now Marche region, Abruzzo, we are already in the center part of Italy. Anyway, number two, there is a town called Ascoli Piceno. Now, Ascoli Piceno is just one town, okay, one city. It's 45,000 inhabitants. And so you are in Marche region, you are in one of the most beautiful regions of Italy. You are not very far from Rome. You are not far from the sea. You are close to all the beauties of the Marche region. You can explore the territory from a place that is full of history. So from a place like Ascoli Piceno, you can reach so many beautiful destinations, and at the same time you are living in a city, and so this makes your life much easier once you're living in a city. And then there are the last two cities, okay. But I put them in one because, again, as I said before, Trani, There are 3 cities, they make one province, Barletta, Andria, Trani, BAT. Now there is this other province in Marche region called Pesaro Urbino. Now Pesaro and Urbino are 2 different towns, 2 different cities, small cities. And again, so let me say, Pesaro has 95,000 inhabitants. And for me, 95,000 is a quite big city already. And Urbino, no, Urbino is much smaller. I think it's the smallest between the one I mentioned here. It's only 14,000 inhabitants, but Urbino is a gem, is a pearl, is another beautiful town where if you want to live in a kind of city where you already find everything, there is tourism all the year around, the quality of the life is very good, historical places everywhere. So Urbino could be a beautiful destination. And Pesaro is similar. Pesaro, okay, is bigger, as probably you have access to more services, but anyway, and also you can commute easily to so many places from Pesaro and Urbino, like you are very close to Umbria, you are very close to San Marino, Emilia Romagna, you are very close to the coast. So now let me stop talking about the cities, okay? These are the cities that I pick up. I can mention again, in the end, there are 8 plus 4, there are 12 because I split one in 2. So Lecce, Brindisi, Ostuni, Trani, Matera, Benevento, Termoli, Pescara, Chieti, Ascoli Piceno, Pesaro and Urbino. So for me, these are the best cities where if you want to relocate in a city, so this video is not made for people who prefer small villages or smaller locations, but if you love to relocate in a place that has all the services, these cities for me are the best, according to me, according to Italy, a place to love. Now, I want to spend the last 2 minutes telling you why, for me, the reasons why these places are all beautiful, okay? And they are all the perfect place where to live. Now, first of all, because, as we said, you are living in a city. So, there are all the services that we need, okay? That's the first thing. The second, in all these towns, in all these cities that I mentioned, prices might be still affordable. For example, much lower than Rome, much lower than Naples, much lower than Milan, Turin. So in these towns that I will actually have to cover more when I'm gonna look now for the properties in my format where I go for the cheapest properties, maybe I should focus also in these towns, cities that I mentioned here. I think I will start covering these 12 cities under that format, the cheapest house for sale in Italy. So prices are affordable. Then in these towns that I mentioned, mainly you are not far from airports. So from the main airports, you are not far, considering Bari, Brindisi, Napoli, Pescara. Pescara also has an airport, and maybe anyway, but they're also well commuted because they are big cities according to the Italian standard. These are big cities, so you might find easy access from Rome to Pesaro or from Rome to Termoli, so you might have trains, buses, so these places are easily commuted, so you might not be need necessary of a car, and this is another extra point. Then these are all very touristic places, and this can be a plus if you want to live in a place where there is life. For example, tourism brings a lot of life, and mainly in all these places you might have tourism nearly all year around, because the places are also beautiful that people might be attracted to come all year around. Then, what do these places have in common as well? Beautiful nature. Now, you are in a city, but around you are surrounded by beautiful nature places. And these, I might guess that people, it's something that they love to have walks in the nature, parks, sea, beautiful beaches. So all these things, beautiful nature is a must. And then the very last thing that is also very important if you are a foreigner who wants to relocate to Italy, I'd say that is also that you might find expats community already in all these towns that I mentioned, all these cities. You may already find, then you might not be interested to get in touch with expats. That's fine, but consider always that if you are not an Italian native speaker, or if your Italian is not very good, it might be also good to have other English speakers around you and to kind of create communities. For example, there is a big community in Valle d'Itria. Now I follow some Italians. There is one Italian girl that I have to make a video, and she's connecting a lot all the expat living in Valle d'Itria. So Valle d'Itria, we are talking about Brindisi, Ostuni, Ceglie Messapica, Messapica, Alberobello, so many places very touristic where a lot of expats, for example, are buying, and she's connecting all these expats around these places. For example, these, and in any of these towns that I mentioned, you might find, for example, a kind of community. Then it's your choice if you like it or not. Okay, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video, and so please put like and subscribe if you enjoyed this type of contents, and I'll see you to my next video on Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. Bye!